Hello everyone, this is me, Selena with Selena Thinking Out Loud, bringing you another Storytime Sunday, Time with God. And today we're going to jump right into our daily devotional message in our daily devotional for 2017, Jesus Calling by Sarah Young. And we're on February 19th, 2017. So if you have your copy, you can follow along with me. And if you don't, you can get it. It's right in the description of this video, more information about it, okay? So we're going to jump right into it. It says, you are feeling weighed down by a plethora of problems, both big and small. They seem to require more and more of your attention, but you must not give in to those demands. When the difficulties in your life feel as if they're closing in on you, break free by spending quality time with me. You need to remember who I am in all my power and glory. Then humbly bring me your prayers and petitions. Your problems will pale when you view them in the light of my presence. You can learn to be joyful in me, your Savior, even in the midst of adverse circumstances. Rely on me, your strength. I make your feet like the feet of a deer, enabling you to go on the heights. Every one of us have issues, whether they're large or small, as we see here. Sometimes we may think, oh, our problems are so big that nobody could be going through what we're going through. But that's not actually the case. You can turn on the news, you can watch on your feed on social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you see people, even on YouTube here, expressing their issues, their problems, whether it be with their weight, whether it be with their health, whether it be with relationships or family or so-called friends. People are expressing out to the world their problems because they feel like if I express out my feelings to others, that somebody's going to give me feedback, somebody's going to help me. It's as if they're crying out for support instead of realizing that the best source of their support is right in God's Bible. He says, in Jesus, in me. Come to me with your problems, both large and small. And so we see here, he says here, if we depended on him more and we brought him our problems, once we got in that QT time, that quality time with him, most of the time we're going to be like, gosh, what was I worried about? What was I stressing about? Because the more time we spend with God, giving him that quality time, he takes us into his presence and he gives us that peace that we need, that joy, that peace, that patience we need to deal with our issues. Even though they're not going to go away in that time period, it may not, or right after you spend time with Jesus, it may heal the problem or solve the problem. But most of the time, we're still going to have to deal with our stuff, even after that quality time. But what Jesus does is he helps us to cope with it. He helps us to cope with our issues. This week I was thinking about how I feel like I'm in a season right now of stillness, of humility, of being in a state of God working on me from the inside out, letting me know that I may not be so busy achieving the goals that I set out for myself for this year so far in 2017. I may not be hitting all those check marks, those bullet points that I have on my to-do list and in my workbook, in my goal workbook, and on my dream board yet. But these past 2 weeks, I have realized that Jesus has had me in a stillness state. He is letting me know that through him all things are possible, not through Selena all things are possible, which has really been working on my patience. That in this stillness, he is pruning me. He is transforming me, molding me into the woman of God that he wants me to be, so that once he does give me those ideas or he gives me those opportunities, that I'll realize who the blessings come from, who the knowledge and the wisdom comes from, the idea came from to achieve the goals that I had set out for myself. that is also in line with God's purpose. Because whatever we do is not for ourselves when we're in Christ. It's for Jesus. It's for expanding and growing his kingdom and also blessing his people. And he says, you can learn to be joyful in me, your Savior, even in the midst of adverse circumstances. So even though stuff is not going to go away, being in him will ease the pain a little bit. Ease those, butterflies or those stress bubbles that you have in your tummy, or that headache, or that heavy burden that you feel like you have to carry on your own. You don't have to carry your burdens on your own. Whenever you're feeling depressed, whenever you're feeling that anxiety, when you're feeling anxious or worried or hesitant or concerned, take it to Jesus and give him that QT time. Sit down and give him that quiet time. Find a place in a corner. Find a place somewhere that you can be to yourself and just talk to him. You don't have to be on your knees all the time to talk to Jesus. You can talk to him just like I'm talking to you now, right? I don't know who's going to be watching this, but I know that God has me in the place to be right now to share this daily devotional message with you and me so that we can both grow in him and be mighty, mighty Christians for him and his people, right? And he says here, rely on me, your strength. He is our strength, right? And he will make our feet like the feet of deer, and we will go to the heights of deer. So when deer go to jump, wow, they can jump pretty high. And so he will have us take those leaps and go those bounds that he has set out for us. And so we have 2 verses today that we're going to get into. And the first one is Exodus chapter 3, verse 14. And it reads, God said to Moses, I am who I am. This is what you are to say to the Israelites. I am has sent me to you. When we need that guidance, and we need that clarity, and we need that support, and we need that spirit to be with us and give us the ultimate guidance, all we need to do is go to our I am, and that is God. And so the next verse we're going to go to is Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 17 through 19. And it reads, though the fig tree does not bud, and there are no grapes on the vines, though the olive crop fails, and the fields produce no food, though there are no sheep in the pen, and no cattle in the stalls, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will be joyful in God, my Savior. The sovereign Lord is my strength. He makes me my feet like the feet of a deer. He enables me to tread on the heights. For the director of music on my stringed instruments. Even though sometimes we may feel like we're not bearing any fruit, we're not helping anybody, we're not achieving our goals, like I was telling you about feeling like I'm just going through some stillness these past 2 weeks, that even in that time, we must rejoice in God. We must thank him for all the other things that's surrounding us. If we look outside of what we're not getting, or we're not achieving, or we're not doing, or we're not reaching that level of success that we want, and we look at all the other things that God has blessed us with, my health and my strength, the ability to think for myself, to have the intelligence to process information, the ability to speak, to hear the sound of the birds outside my window, to see the clouds, the rain, to smell beautiful desserts and food, or to smell the scents of flowers, right? To be able to feel different sensations, whether it's soft or rough, to converse, to have intimate, wonderful, generous connections or relationships with people, whether they're strangers, associates, or friends, or family. Thanking God for that health and our strength to be able to breathe in this beautiful air, oxygen, right? To still be here, living on this planet, on this earth, being able to say that we are going to be used by Christ, that God has chosen us, right, to be used in his name. And you start dialing back and you start thinking, wow, God is my strength. He actually is my strength. So I shall rejoice in him. And just as he said, I may not have crops growing right now, no sheep in the pen, but I will be joyful in the Lord, my Savior. So I want to thank you so much for joining me for another Storytime Sunday today. I hope that daily devotional helped you as much as it helped me remind me on the fact that, things may be weighing us down, or we may not be understanding the stillness and all the stuff that's going on in our lives right now. But knowing that we are to remain joyful in him and take it to him with that quality time, knowing that he knows all and he is our great I am. And so thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this daily devotional time with me, leave any comments you have below this video. I look forward to talking with you in those comments below this week. Also, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want more weekly videos. And also, give this video a thumbs up if you want to share it with somebody else who you think need to hear this message today. So I'll talk to you soon, and I wish you a very blessed week, and I love you so much. Bye-bye.